What is going on, YouTube people? Today, GameStop has entered the chat. We are not talking about the meme stock of it all. GameStop is getting in the trading card business. I guess they technically have been, as they have sold a lot of TCG sealed over the years. You can go there and get ETBs and booster packs on occasion and all sorts of little nonsense in the collectible trading card space. But yesterday, they announced they will now begin buying and selling Pokemon. This says Pokemon and other TCGs in the IGN article. There's still very much mixed messaging on this. On GameStop's Instagram post, they show baseball cards in PSA slabs. So I'm assuming it's going to be both. They say trading cards on the Instagram post. So I believe this is going to be both sports cards and non-sports cards. PSA only, PSA 8 and up, and a cap of $500. Now, I waited a day purposely to make this video. I could have included it yesterday in the new slab video, but I wanted to poke around a little bit. I watched a bunch of other content creators that went and did or attempted to trade in cards that had GameStops that are accepting this locally to them. It is not every GameStop in the country yet. The results seem to be extremely varied. Some people had positive experiences. Some people had meh experiences. Sounds like a GameStop. I saw Poke Knowledge had a bunch of lowball offers on his stuff. I saw another Pokemon content creator on Twitch named Juice, I believe. Here, Poke Juice. He got, he said he took 4 cards in, he traded in 3 of them. Cash value, got about 75% comps on the 3 that he traded in. He said he could have got an extra 10% or so if he took store credit. They have a whole checklist that they have to work down, and then they scan the QR code on the back. I don't know if it'll be more grading companies or not. They kind of leave that open-ended in GameStop's announcement. They specifically say PSA for now, ... basically. I think a key component is, and I think the only other player that could potentially get in on this would be CGC, because they want to scan a QR code. PSA slabs have a QR code. CGC slabs have a QR code. Most of the other ones do not. SGC and Beckett do not have QR codes, so that tends to be a little bit of a problem there. Because essentially they're scanning the card, and then the system is spitting back a bunch of information to them. Now, maybe there's a workaround for that. I guess I could manually type in a cert number. I don't know. They also have a whole checklist that's floating around the internet on, I retweeted it, on how to detect fakes. It is pretty detailed. It seems to be pretty good. So if you're looking for a quick and dirty playbook on how to spot fake PSA slabs, go check out my Twitter profile. It's in the link in the description down below. So the question, and listen, this is going to be like most things in life, especially when you're dealing with GameStop. I have a feeling most of the stuff that you take in there, you're probably going to get lowballed on. That is their shtick generally. You're probably going to find some stuff that you're like, this is fine, just to get rid of whatever it is. This might be a dumping ground for people to try to get rid of junk stuff. Now, you might get super low prices, but if there's something that they are paying reasonably on, the couple key questions I have is what are they using for a buy list, and how are they comping cards? I would have to imagine the raw pricing data, since PSA is involved with this, maybe is coming from Card Ladder, and they integrated some scanning thing. And then there is, and I don't know this for sure, this is pure speculation on my part, and then I assume GameStop has some layer on top of that to help identify, that maybe there's certain cards they're looking for, they're going to pay a stronger premium on. I don't know. That's the great unknown, and it sounds like the GameStop employees don't know. The word on the street from what I had heard from watching various videos as well, was this basically got shoved down their throats in the last couple of days. Like literally a week ago, they got on a Zoom and were like, hey, this is coming. Here's how you do it. Great. Paperwork's coming. Fill it out. Done. And they had no hands-on training, no nothing. This thing just rolled out of the blue. So the handful of stores that have it are truly the guinea pigs for all this situation, and we'll kind of see where it goes from here. Listen, there is no, people will get mad about this, I'm sure. No one has a Nintendo light zapper to your head to force you to sell your cards to GameStop. You know, when you walk in there, they don't have one of those. Remember the Super Nintendo Super Scope? It was the bazooka looking thing. They're not standing behind the counter with one of those aimed at you saying, you need to sell me all your slabs in your Zion case, or I am going to shoot you with this thing. It's not how it works. So just the fact that there is another outlet to move slabs to is not a bad thing. Now, it might be a waste of time, but the fact that they exist gives you some sort of floor value on your cards. And they will take advantage of people on this, 100%. Some mom will walk in there pissed off at her kid with her, I'm getting rid of your Pokemon collection. GameStop takes it, I'm taking them all there. Or, you know, someone's going to get left with something after someone passes away, or whatever the case might be. Some bad decisions will get made here. You could guarantee that. But if you walk in there and you don't like the price that they're offering you, it's pretty simple. You can just walk right back out the door with your cart. And I can't wait for the any person that comes in there with their little case and they are trying to negotiate with the GameStop employee. Like, bro, the PSA 8 just did this. You know, mine's a gold out of 50. That was a blue out of 75. Just did this. That means mine's worth this. No, you can't use, that was a low ball auction price. They had it ended at 2 a.m. That comp doesn't count. I need you to use the auction value 3 previous to that where my buddy shill bid it and ran it up an extra 50% to skew the numbers. That's the one that we should be using. Auctions don't count. You got to use best offer, buy it now. What all the nonsense. You know, someone is going to go in there, multiple people, and I feel bad for the GameStop employees that have to deal. As someone that worked retail in high school and college at a Best Buy, I can only imagine the nonsense they are going to have to deal with on the employee side. So I feel for the GameStop employees that basically had this shoved at them when people get super pissed and yell at them for the low trade-in value that they are offering when they're just doing whatever the computer system tells them to do. Also, I am sure there will be some people that figure out a way to take advantage of this. And I am not even talking about like fake slabs or anything like that, though I'm sure someone will try to figure out that code too. I have to listen. Someone that works at GameStop is going to figure out a way to profit off of this with their friends. That's just how the world works. Someone is going to have access to the buy list or what they're looking for, or their friend will be at a show texting them, you know, QR codes from slabs, and they'll be looking stuff up to try to find somewhere that there is margin on. You can 100% guarantee that's going to happen. If GameStop ever got to the point where you could price check it at home and the store doesn't have to do it for you, if they were smart, they would never do that. If they do, I could already see right now kids, adults, grown men running around shows, scanning slabs, trying to see find some slab that they could trade in at GameStop for $50 that they'll try to buy for 35 or 40 or whatever the case might be to make $10 or $15 on it. You 100% know that's going to happen. Someone will figure out a way to game this system. I can see it right now. I can see I can close my eyes as a content creator and I can see the YouTube thumbnail in my brain of, okay, on the left-hand side of the thumbnail is a kid walking in and it's an AI generated and he's got like 150 junk Pokemon slab or various slabs, sports, Pokemon, whatever in his hand. He's walking into the store. The other side of the thumbnail is him walking out of the store with like 3 PS5s, a Nintendo Switch, a new Xbox 960, whatever the hell they're on these days, and a stack of video games. Listen, it's gonna happen. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know who will crack the code, but I can tell you right now, the internet is smarter than GameStop, and they will figure this out. Maybe it gets nipped quickly, but someone will crack this code. I can already foresee at least 1 or 2 videos about this in the future, about some nonsense that someone pulled on GameStop. The real question is, what is GameStop doing with these? There has been reports in, once again, a lot of the videos that I watched where the employees were telling the people trading in that they are getting shipped off. They are not staying at the store. They are getting shipped off to one central location. Multiple rumors I had heard where they will then be sold on an online marketplace on their website. That seems, I'm sure they'll do that for some stuff. But, and I know Dustin mentioned this in his video, the first thing that I jumped to was, you guessed it, repack. Do we see some sort of GameStop branded Pokemon blind box nonsense shenanigans that they are going to offload some of this stuff in? Because I have a feeling that will soon be coming at some point in time. The amount of GameStops that there are in the country and the amount of slabs that are going to be walking into the door, they're going to need a way to offload those on the other side. So what's the easiest way to do that? Put them in a cute little box, send them off to the stores, and resell them as repacks. And then the cycle continues. Rip the repack. Buy the Pokemon repack for $50. You rip it, you get a $30 slab. You're like, I don't like this card. You take it, you give it to the GameStop employee. I'll give you $15 for it. Whatever. I didn't want this in the first place. Rinse and repeat. The other thought process that my brain went down was, if they really commit to this bit, that they are going to play a heavier or have a heavier hand in the card space, whether that's TCG Sports or whatever. Do they start to get retail sports cards? Do they already get retail TCG? Do they partner with Fanatics? You know, are you going to be able to buy Bowman Blaster boxes or Topps Chrome basketball when that's a thing out of a GameStop store? You already can out of lids. So would they also want to distribute to a GameStop? I don't know. It's pure speculation on my part there. Another thing that I thought of, clearly they are working closely with PSA on this. And now I would never trust this in a million years. Would I trust this? Would you ever be able to group submit through a GameStop? Would that ever be a thing? Would you be able to drop your raw cards off at a GameStop, fill out paperwork, do whatever? They send them off to PSA for you, and then they either ship back to you or you pick them up in the store. I don't know that that would ever happen. That feels like a little bit of a stretch, but the thought rumbled through my mind. The other, kind of thing that this shows is, PSA has been on an absolute tear lately. New slab, eBay authenticity guaranteed, PSA Vault, PSA Vault linked with eBay, PSA, flirting with Fanatics on certain things. They are just on an absolute tear, and they continue to establish themselves and dig in. They're like a weed. Their roots just keep going everywhere, and you pull it out over here, and then they popped up 3 more times over here with their next thing. PSA continues to expand their footprint all over the place. And the more that they do that, the harder it is going to be for one of the smaller grading companies to come up and catch them. Because they're just, they just get the name recognition out of all this, brand awareness, the whole 9 yards, all of it. And if they potentially go down some other roads with this, who knows as well where this could end up. But wild times. Like I said at the top, overall, this is a net whatever. There is no real, on the face, there's no real negative to this because you don't have to sell them your cards. So if you don't like it, it's perfectly fine. Just walk out. But it does give an outlet for some people to move some stuff. Like I said, they're probably going to buy fair on something. It might not be everything. And it's your choice if you want to sell to them or not. But hey, man, if the next whatever gaming console comes out. I'm more of a PC gamer now myself personally, but I have a PSA 5 or PSA 5. It's the second time I've done that. I have a PS5. I do not have the newest Xbox console, but when the next generation of consoles came out, if there was something I really wanted that was exclusive, I don't know, if I had some random slabs laying around, would I walk them in just to see like, hey, what are they going to offer me on these to get 100 or 200 bucks off on a new console? Sure, why not? It doesn't hurt anything to do that. There's, like I said, there's no net negative here. It just kind of gives a floor value to stuff. There's an absolute floor value where you know you could walk into a GameStop and liquidate. The key thing here is do they allow you to price this stuff on the go? Or do you have to walk into the store? Is there going to be some sort of app or website that you could go to look this stuff up? That will cause, I don't want to say chaos, but that would be an extra level of nonsense kind of thrown into this whole equation, because then you will 100% will have people with that app in their hand scanning everything in sight, trying to find something that they can make $5 or $10 on, because they will pay you out in cash as well. They just Venmo you the money if you want to. So curious for your thoughts and comments, as always, down below. We will catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.